Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. I need everybody inside the room right now to make some noise for Mr.
Ozman.
Okay, let's begin.
Morning, everyone. Welcome back. Oh, as you can see, I've done a little bit of planning here. I'm starting to plan out some of my other buildings. This is going to be the chicken factory. Hello, cows. And I stuck some of my pets out, you know, to keep me company while I'm working away. Hello, pets. But what I want to get going today is we need to get some Ender IO stuff sorted. So, basics of Ender IO, the first thing we need is we need some power. So, I've got what I need to get some of the early stuff built here. Let's change this. When you're first starting out with Ender IO, you start with the Stirling generator. The Stirling generator is just something that generates power, or redstone flux as Ender IO calls it, by burning solid fuels. So we need some of these gears, for which we need cobblestone and sticks. Cobblestone and sticks. Gears. Boom. Let's get a few of these. Get 10 of them. Empty. Now, what else do we need? We've got pistons. Piston, furnace, stone bricks. Okay. Furnace, stone bricks. Gives us our Stirling generator. Beautiful. Okay. So Stirling generator, I'm just going to put this stuff down. Eventually I'm going to build my Ender IO workshop down here somewhere. So I'll just stick this down for now. But you can see that this burns solid fuel. And one of the best things that it can burn is blaze rods. As you can see, I've got quite a few blaze rods here. That is because I haven't even been to the nether yet, but that is because over here in the chicken house, I've just been quietly clocking away. I've had a couple of blaze rod chickens, and I've been popping over every now and then, give them a visit, pick up whatever blaze rods they've laid, stick them in the colossal chest. So now I've got plenty of blaze rods to power this guy up. So you can see it's juices 20 redstone flux a tick. Its burn rate is at 100%. It's got a slot here for an upgrade. You can see it's filling up. Now, if you will, I'm not sure if I've even talked about this, what we've had quite a few of, a good run of, from our chests and dungeons, etc., is these capacitors. Now these are, they don't look like the standard capacitors that you get, that you make yourself, but these are all Ender IO machine capacitors. Look at all the ones, look at them all. I don't think I'm even going to be able to fit them all in my inventory. Look at that, heaps. So let's just take some of these down and we'll show you what happens when you put them in. We have a Hermitron over here full of capacitors. They've all got wacky names, but they typically have basically the same function. I'll grab 3 at random. So when I put this in, so here we've got 20 redstone flux per tick with 100,000 redstone flux storage. Pop you in there. Same. Yeah. Look, there we go. 40 redstone flux per tick with 300,000 redstone flux capacity. So that one's a better one. And what about here? Oof. 40 redstone flux per tick, but 754,873 redstone flux storage. You can see we've got a, so we'll stick that in there. We'll get some battery backup going here. The idea behind the storage obviously is it's stored power. If you run out of fuel, it'll continue to supply power. Anyway, back to the job at hand. Next thing we need to get a lot of the machines and substances built that you need for Ender IO is we need an alloy smelter. Here's an alloy smelter. For an alloy smelter we need a machine chassis, 3 furnaces, iron ingot and cauldron. Do I have 3 furnaces? I have 2 furnaces. Now I have 3 furnaces. Okay, to make a machine chassis, what do we need? Oh, we need a basic capacitor, iron bars, and iron ingots. To make a basic capacitor, we need redstone, copper. God, okay, so we're going to make a whole stack of basic capacitors. Oops, I don't want them there, I want them in my inventory. Because we need them, we're going to need a lot of them throughout our time. So, boom. You there. You there. 2, 3, 4. I'll use these ones first. Capacitor. Capacitor. There we go. So I now have a full stack of capacitors. So to make a machine frame, it was it this? Yes, it was. Alright, we're going to need a lot of those as well, but let's just make 10. 10. Okay, empty. Good. Alloy smelter. We need the cauldron and the 3 furnaces. Cauldron, furnaces, alloy smelter. Bingo. Okay, we bring this down. We'll stick it next to our... Stop out. Let's get our inventory under control. Put this guy's back in here. Stick this guy here, and we'll see straight away it's drawing power. Because it's directly touching the power generator, it's drawing power into its battery storage, so it's connected. We can also stick another one of these capacitors in here. Let's see what it does. 500,000, 100,000, 500,000. It can take up to 100 redstone flux per tick, and it's going to operate at a higher speed. It's actually going to smelt things at a higher speed. Here we've got the furnace mode, all smelting. You can also turn it into alloys only or furnace only. I'm going to keep it as all smelting, so it can be my new furnace. Let's just show you some. So it's smelting something. Yeah, give me a stone brick. We'll crack you in the furnace. Should be faster. Whoop, look at that. Much faster than a normal furnace. Okay, you're burning there. Now, let's give it a good supply of... over here. Just give it a healthy supply of blaze rods. So let's give it a chest to feed in. One. Just for now, we'll stick a chest on top of the alloy smelter. Sorry, the Stirling generator. And it will be able to draw blaze rods from that chest. Now come... So now what I need to do is tell that to pull blaze rods from what's above you. So you can see this quite complex interface here. So I've gone pull from the top down into yourself. So now that will just continue to pull blaze rods out of this chest to keep burning. It's filling this up. This will... You can see that it's actually pulling power out of itself, because this is pulling a whole lot of power because of its capacitor. May in fact end up being easier to take that capacitor out while we're doing basic smelting. But because this is pulling up to 100 redstone flux, it's sucking all the power that this can take, so it's drawing down its battery, plus it's taking whatever comes out of the burning rods. Alright, now we have an alloy smelter. And now we need to make a bunch of different alloys. But we also need to charge our boots. And so to charge our boots, we need a basic capacitor bank, for which we need redstone, lots of the 4 capacitors and an iron ingot. So we need a redstone block, 4 capacitors, 4 iron ingots. Basic capacitor, bingo, there. We'll stick you on the other side here. You can see it's pulling power from here. And our boots, which you'll see below the durability, you'll see that it's got 0 of 250,000 redstone flux. The way that we get the redstone flux back into these boots, or any of the Ender IO items like the swords and stuff, is we stick them in one of these and they will start drawing that power. You can see it's filling up the power, and then when it's fully charged I'll take them back out, and I'll now be able to, then I will be able to not take fall damage. Here's my Ender. I'll put that in there as well, why not? I'm not even sure if that's my best Ender, but now we've got the, oh, now we've got to sleep before we get blown up. Sleep. Okay, so we want to make some groovy some things to help us move items around, and Ender IO has these great item conduits, and they use to pull or push items from one storage item into another storage item, from chests into other chests, from farming machines into chests, from all sorts of things to move items anywhere around the map. They're a really good item conduit. I prefer these to the extra utilities ones, even though they're a little bit more work. But to make them, we need pulsating iron. To make pulsating iron, with an alloy smelter, we need ender pearls and iron to get pulsating iron. Now, as I'm sure you may have noticed in the chest over here, we have a whole lot of ender pearls. And we should have quite a bit of iron hiding up here somewhere. There we go. So this is going to tax my power a bit. But what we do is, oh, we need iron ingots, not iron blocks. You and you. Here we go, smelting. And this will start giving us pulsating iron. Again, I could put a chest on top of here and it would automatically pull those things into it. But I like doing this stuff manually because it smelts quickly, and if you get the formula wrong, you can end up making useless things. So here's the basics of Ender IO, just making alloys, and we'll use them to craft other Ender IO items. And in terms of the basic setup, this is good. When things get more advanced, they do get much more advanced. You have to steal monsters' souls, you have to reprogram their heads, and you can make some really cool machines. But for now, we just want to keep our boots powered and get the ability to make some conduits to help make moving items around easier. We need conduits for our chicken factory, so I want enough stuff from this just to get the chicken factory up and running. So I'll just get this smelting done. I won't make you sit here and watch while I smelt item after item. So I'll be back with you guys in a minute. Well, we're churning away nicely on the alloy. Both my items are powered, fully powered. So let's get started on the other component that we need for making those conduits, which is conduit binder. Oh, sorry, phone. So we need to make conduit binder composite, which is a combination of clay, gravel, and sand. So bingo. Then we just smelt those into conduit binder. So once I've got my pulsating iron, I'll stick all of that conduit binder composite into the smelter, and we'll get our conduits, and with that we'll have enough to make some item conduits. So that should be cool. So a little bit more patience while we smelt, please, dear listeners. While we're doing that, let's have a quick look at what else we've got going, maybe. So I noticed that you could put pets in item frames and they would look cute and animated. So I put them over here to keep me company while I'm working. And a little bit of organising of my chest. as you've seen, I've started just the basic layout for the chicken factory. These aren't the final walls or anything, I'm just playing around with sizing. I'm going to have 3 high modules, so some of the chickens will produce, will have 6 producing, some will have a single stack of 3, so that should be enough to keep things moving along. Over here, you've seen me lay out, oh, that's not the smart way to do that, seen me lay out the Inferium farm, and I'll gather that up. And what I've stuck around the outside edge seems strange. These are stone plants. And these are dirt plants. So rather than digging everything up, what I've got sort of again, just slowly ticking over in the background as a little, because it doesn't cost me anything once I set those seeds up, which were inexpensive in terms of Inferium. It's just a little thing to tick over and slowly get me some extra resources so that I don't get caught short of stone or dirt. You can see I've been stacking my Inferium here. Stone, if we stick those in, I'm pretty sure these will just be 3, will give me 8 podzol. Even better. When you break podzol, it turns into dirt. It's cool, I didn't know that gave me podzol. And this should just give me... do I need to do this? 32 stone. You see, that's good return for something that just sits there quietly ticking away. So that's something else I've been doing slowly in the background. I mean, this can all be automated later, obviously, but I don't have any power or conduits or anything yet. That's why I'm doing all this stuff down here. So that's that. Back to smelting. See you when I've smelted up my stuff. We're nearly done with our pulsating iron. But what we can do while we're waiting again is the next machine we're going to need is a sag mill, which is like a kind of pulverizer. You use it to extract different powders from different materials. So let's get one of those. We need a machine chassis and a piston. Should have a machine chassis and a piston here. Sag mill. No, just on it. Sag mill. Boom. Job done. Okay. Now if we stick our sag mill here, it shouldn't end up, it's not able to draw any power, because it's got to be directly connected to the power source, or it's got to have a conduit going to it, but I don't have any conduits going to it at the moment. So what we'll do is, this could become a spectacular. I'll stick some stuff in this spare spot here. Make some room in our inventory. And I'm going to break you. And I'm going to put you back here. Because these can draw from all 4 sides. So I will put the chest of blaze rods here. I'll change the IO so that it pulls from here. There we go. And I'll turn off that. So there's nothing happening on the top. I'll take my sag mill, put it on top. And you can see it's drawing power now to start filling up here. That pulls power away from this one. So this will be ever so slightly slower now. So what I'll do is I'll switch this off for the moment so that all of our focus is on here, so we can finish our alloy smelting and then get the binder conduit going, the binder composite going. But there's our sag mill that'll let us make some stuff that'll let us build all the other components we need. Well, our pulsating iron is done, so it's time to get the binders happening. You get good returns on this. I think it's actually maybe six yeah, 6 binder for each composite, so this should give me plenty of 6 conduit binders for every piece of conduit binder composite. Oof, why is this okay, that's drawing power. I switch you off, you're still going to draw power on though, aren't you? Yep. Oh well, there's nothing I can do about that. So that's going to slow this down a little bit. You can see they're both trying to share this power source. Such is life. So when this conduit binder is finished smelting up, I'll show you guys just a very basic example of how it's going to be used. But for now, there's no point you guys watching things smelt. So I'm sure I'll be back shortly. Change my mind. I'll show you how the sag mill works. So a sag mill is just something that grinds. So let's turn you on. It's got its typical stuff here. I'll put a capacitor into it, capacitor upgrade. You put what you're going to grind in here. It spits out the components. All these Ender IO things, they have their recipes in there, which is nice. So you put, obviously sag mill can grind a lot of things into a lot of things. You can put compressed sand, you'll get silicon and maybe some more compressed sand. And so you see the chances here, 15% chance, 15% chance, 15% chance, 5% chance. So you see that there's chance what's going to come out of a sag mill. And you can add a grinding ball of some sort, a grinding aid in here. The best are the dark steel balls, but of course to make dark steel I need to pulverize some coal. So I need something to get my first round of pulverizing done, and you can actually use flint. So I can put some flint in there and that'll help. I'll stick some coal in here and we'll see it grinding away, creating pulverized coal. Now you need pulverized coal for a bunch of things, and as you just saw, I'm also getting some sulfur. So now dark steel balls last a lot longer than flint does. You can see that flint's going through that flint really quickly. But that's what a sag mill does, and you'll see these different pulverized things go into different recipes. So if I go to how does dark steel get made? It gets made in alloy smelter using pulverized coal, iron, and obsidian to give me dark steel. So on and so forth. So that's the sag mill grinding away. We'll see if I get anything. There's a very, very, very small chance that you'll get diamonds from coal, but it's a very small chance. I'm not expecting it to happen. So here we go. Here's all my Ender IO stuff churning away. Hard at work, bit of industry. Lovely. Okay, so we have our conduit binder, we have our pulsating iron nuggets, so we are all set to craft some item conduits. Item conduits here. Now you get good returns here, so you get, for those you get 8. Let's just do, for now, we're going to need a lot in the end, but for now let's just do 40 of them, empty. And I'll pop over, this will be very crude, but I'll pop over to chicken nursery just to show you how you can use an item conduit. So I can attach an item conduit to this and it'll go down into that chest, and if you watch we should see, I should say always active, and this should start filling up with stuff. This is insert, and when this guy, it's 3 minutes, alright, that is a bad example. Let's go over here then. Bang, bang. You are disabled, and you are always active, and bang. See, those items are just flowing into that chest. So this doesn't need power. Item conduits will work by themselves as a standalone item. As a standalone system. So I can just sit this here, and now instead of being stuck in the chicken coop, as soon as they land in there, they'll get sucked down and put in this chest. So lovely item conduit. And as you saw, they can extract, they can insert, they can be disabled, or they can do both. They can be insert and outsert. So when we get some more complex, let's go extract. When we get to some more complex situations, complex builds, I'll be showing you how to work some of that stuff. But bingo, item conduits. Now clearly they're obviously one of the most important things in Chicken Factory, because we need to automatically suck all these items out of these and we'll get them moved into the chests. There'll be more to it than that, but at its core, that's what the item conduits are for. Cool. Ender IO underway. Okay, we need another object. We need another building material called silicon. And to make silicon, we're going to put in some double compressed sand into our sag mill. I don't even know if I've shown you guys how to compress these building blocks. Good question. I'll show you just in case I haven't. This is an extra utilities thing. It's very handy. So for gravel, flint, sand, dirt and cobblestone, you can squash them down. You can take 9 blocks and you get compressed sand. If I had 9 compressed sand, I could get double compressed sand. And that's a really good means you can store this stuff really well. But it also helps when you're trying to rapidly generate some of these things like silicon and Ender IO, because it'll take the double compressed and it'll do the multiplication. So I'll see a bunch of stuff pop out here from that one double compressed. See? A stack and a half of silicon just from putting that one in. So rather than feeding in a stack of sand, just fed in the compressed, got the outputs. Neat. Okay, so I've hooked up all of these nesting boxes to this chest now. You can see it's just starting to fill up with all the stuff out of their nesting boxes. I'll show you how it's all plumbed under here, under the floor. So very practical, makes it much easier to manage those nesting boxes. But I think you'll agree, it doesn't look the best with these holes in the floor and stuff that's visible. So what we're going to try and do, we're going to try and remedy that a little bit if we can. So I believe what I need to make is something called a painting machine. So we need some nether quartz. That's electrical steel. Okay, so we need electrical steel. Electrical steel is made by coal powder, silicon, and iron in the alloy smelter. Silicon, iron, coal powder. Let's not put all of that in at once. Let's just make a dozen. Segmel. Whoop, not segmel. No, don't do that. Oh, you goose. Pulverized iron, anyone? Alright. Let's go in here. So 12. Where's my silicon gone? That can go in. Good. There we go. So let's make this electrical steel go. While we're doing that, the painting machine needs 5, it needs a machine chassis, it needs a diamond and some nether quartz. Diamond. Oh, hang on, there was nether quartz over here, wasn't there? Bingo. And some nether quartz. So a machine chassis. Told you we'd need lots of them. That was machine chassis. Diamond, nether quartz. Okay, let's get rid of some of this junk over here in my temporary storage. Look at all these eggs. Electrical steel. I'll make a stack of that later. Okay, we have a painting machine. How does a painting machine work? we need a conduit facade. How do we make that? Yep, it's just binder in a ring. That we can do. You charging? Yep. We're going to have to sleep in a sec. Just try one here. That goes in there. Does it go in there? Bingo, we have a conduit facade. Now, how do we place that? Bingo. You can see it looks exactly the same. So that conduit is there, but I can't see it anymore. Pretty cool, huh? So you don't have to have this unsightly conduit. Now, how do I... that's good. I can do that. Make that book good. But first, we sleep. Something else I should have done right at the start, apart from eating some cherries. I've made a Yeta wrench, which is an essential component. I need some more electrical steel. Great. Oh, that's not a basic gear? It is a basic gear, okay. Just didn't have it in my inventory. So if I have a wrench in my hand, I'm pretty sure that that conduit facade will disappear. See? Visible. So I can go down here if I need to make adjustments to it. Pull the wrench out, I can get in there and I can adjust all that stuff. There we go. Turn it off. Invisible. So, nice, huh? Means you can have conduit in places that are visible but invisible. So I will just go paint up a bunch more conduit facade and I'll make that place look beautiful again. But how we go? We're going pretty well here, aren't we? Screw a plank. I'll just get a bunch of conduit facade in there and it'll turn it into that. Nice. So there we have it. Looks like it did exactly the same as it did before I put any item conduits in, but there they all are. And now, instead of going around and collecting items from every one of those individuals, I can just come to this one chest and pick it all up. You'll notice something odd there that the Yeta wrench does. It rotates blocks. So if I go to this chest and I hit it with a Yeta wrench, it'll turn it around. So that's just a side effect. But pretty cool, huh? Nice. Ender IO underway. We charged our boots, we charged our sword. We made some conduit using the sag mill to grind up some components and the alloy smelter to smelt some components, and then we made the conduits, laid them out, and then we used the painting machine to make them look pretty. Nice job. I'm pretty happy with the start of our Ender IO here. Nice. Now the next steps to get the next level of machinery going, they're a bit more complicated and we'll tackle them at another time. For now, we're going to redirect ourselves to something else.